Oh, I can hear. It's...
These hikers thought they were following the right path until one wrong turn led them into something deeply unsettling. In this video, we'll go through 6 most disturbing hiking encounters ever caught on camera. This video comes from a nighttime exploration in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, where John returns with Tim from breaking the shell to investigate the abandoned Little Greenbrier School. The school, originally built in the 1800s and used until the 1930s, sits deep in the woods beside an old cemetery, immediately giving the location a historical and eerie atmosphere.
Tonight, I've journeyed to the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, and we're out in the middle of the woods, and we are at the Little Greenbrier School. Now, this is a school that operated way back in the 1800s up into the 1930s. Now, this creepy shadow here is my boy Tim.
Shell, yeah.
He is from Breaking the Shell, so go check him out, guys. But we're here together tonight. It's just the two of us, and we're going to check this out.
Before the investigation even begins, John introduces a powerful flashlight and emphasizes how dark and isolated the forest is, with the beam cutting through the trees like daylight. The setting already feels unsettling as they prepare to explore a place widely believed to be haunted, especially on the night before Halloween.
Look at this. Look at that cemetery we're about to do. Now, guys, this light is very inexpensive and it is worth the money. And actually, I think it goes up one more setting. Boom. See, a little bit brighter. Guys, 2,300 lumens is more than enough to see whatever you need to see, especially these little spookies right here.
As they walk around the old log structure, they describe how the building has survived for over a century, supported only by stacked stone foundations and surrounded by dense mountains. Despite its beauty, the heavy graffiti and decay give the place a disturbing contrast between history and neglect.
Guys, we're gonna walk around and look here. For you who haven't seen this place, just a little tidbit, if you look right back here, there is a cemetery. And yes, we are going to check that out. We'll walk you around this first. Show you the outside of this building. Look at this. This is old school, guys. This is log cabin. These are big logs. Like, I mean, they're decently thick. I'd say about 6 inches thick, but look how wide they are.
The mood shifts when they begin noticing strange sensations, unexplained sounds, flickers of movement in the trees, and an uneasy feeling of not being alone. Even simple exploration of the outside grounds begins to feel unsettling as they prepare to enter the building and nearby cemetery.
Thought I just heard talking. And it wasn't Tim. Check this out, guys. Look at that moon. This is the night before Halloween. It's not quite a full moon yet. This is crazy this has been here so long. Show y'all underneath here.
Inside the school, they start an EVP and EMF-based investigation using a K2 meter to communicate with any possible spirits. Almost immediately, the device begins responding when questions are asked, lighting up in a way that suggests interaction. The responses become surprisingly specific when they ask if anyone present was a student at the school, with the meter reacting as if confirming communication. As the session continues, they attempt to connect with what they believe could be members of the Walker sisters, a historical family linked to the area. The responses appear consistent with names like Walker, and the investigators try to establish whether they are communicating with someone who once lived and taught there. The investigation grows more intense when additional names like Maggie, Lynn, and Anthony appear through the spirit communication tools. The team reacts in real time as the responses seem intelligent, sometimes even reacting to their actions or questions before they finish speaking.
Now there is no electricity in this place, that is for sure.
There's not even old wires.
No, this never had electricity. Okay, if you understand me, can you touch my light for me one more time? I'd really appreciate it if you touched the green light for me to let me know you understand what I'm saying. Oh, thank you. All right, you can stop touching it for a second. So if I ask you a question and the answer is yes, touch the green light for me. Do you understand? Oh, I guess they understand.
They understand.
Okay, you can stop for a second. Thank you. Were you a student here? Yes? Turn on the light. Oh.
You were a student here.
You were a student here.
Thank you.
All right, you can stop touching it for me. Are you buried in the cemetery? Did you grow up and move away from here? Touch the light if yes. Don't if no. Did you live your entire life here? Oh no. Oh, so what was the last question?
Your life here.
Yeah, so thank you. So you did live your entire life here.
One of the most unsettling moments occurs when they hear unexplained footsteps approaching, accompanied by sudden spikes on the K2 meter. The sound feels close enough to suggest something physically moving toward them, despite no visible presence in the building or surrounding area.
Oh my God, I would have swore somebody was just walking up to us right here. It even sounded like it went over here.
Right there.
God, it sounded like it came up the middle and walked like over here. Dude, that was so freaking loud. I can't believe nobody's in here, bro. And dude, the K2 meter went off right when it happened.
Like I felt the vibrations in the seat.
Yeah, I felt it, well, my feet on the ground. I could feel it there. Dude, that was nuts. Dude, the K2 meter was going off too. Can you touch our meter again for us? Dude, something just freaking walked by that. It was as it was walking up to us that started going off. Wow. Dude, I haven't heard that prominent footsteps in a long time.
As the night continues, the activity escalates further, with strange sounds resembling movement inside walls or nearby structures. At one point, John believes something may have physically interacted with him, noticing unusual scratch-like marks on his back, which adds a disturbing physical element to the experience. In the final moments, they decide to end the investigation after hours of activity, unexplained sounds, and intense responses from their equipment. While nothing visually appears, the combination of environmental audio, EMF reactions, and personal experiences leaves them convinced that something unusual was present throughout the night. The video ends with the team reflecting on the experience, emphasizing how active the location felt compared to expectations, and suggesting that further investigation may reveal even more evidence in the future. This video comes from a paranormal exploration livestream, where the creator investigates a remote outdoor location using different tools, including a radiation detector, while interacting directly with whatever might be in the area. Right from the beginning, the focus is on a device that detects radiation, such as X-rays, beta rays, and gamma rays. The creator explains that nothing in the environment should be producing radiation, yet the readings begin fluctuating unexpectedly.
125. Radiation, it detects radiation, and when these things are around, they are supposed to give off radiation. There's nothing out here that should be giving off radiation. Look at the fog. Dude, I've had it. Oh my God, what's going on? Let's see. 144, 118.
It picks up X-rays, beta rays, and gamma rays, and that.
As they continue, the atmosphere quickly turns tense with strange visuals in the fog, and unexplained sounds, including what they describe as rock clacking and possible movement nearby. As they move further into the area, they begin hearing clearer noises. At one point, they react to what sounds like a tree breaking, followed by rustling in the brush, which pushes them to move uphill and continue the investigation.
Oh,
There's no mistaking that.
right. That sounded like a tree breaking.
Yep.
All right, let's go up the hill, and I can do the Geiger majigger thingy up there, leave the brushes, and see what we can get with the glow balls up there. Maybe this one will follow us up if we're lucky. I just gotta get away from these damn bugs. Oh God. All right, guys, here we go.
Shortly after, things escalate when both of them hear what they describe as panting coming from behind them. The creator insists it sounded like distinct breathing, similar to a dog, but notes that it did not match anything they expected to encounter there.
65, beautiful. Who's that? Bobby Lee, thank you so much. Did you just hear panting?
I did.
It was like, I just heard flipping panting. I don't know if you guys can go back a few seconds, headphone it. I just heard panting.
Something just ran over.
Right, something just ran behind us panting. Dude, I heard it. There was a yell. I didn't hear no yell, except for mine. They're hearing yells. That creeps me out, dude.
Around the same time, multiple devices begin malfunctioning. Lights start dying unexpectedly, and the radiation detector appears to lose power before suddenly turning back on. When it does, the readings spike dramatically, reaching unusually high levels despite there being no known source nearby. This moment becomes one of the most intense parts of the video, especially as it happens alongside a full moon and increasing fog.
I gave that even to you because it's so high.
Whose light's that?
Gotta be somebody up on the bridge.
Are they radioactive? Okay, I'm waiting for my Geiger count to go off. I don't know if it's still on. Let me check. Oh, it's not. Did it get drained? I made sure it was fully charged. I had it on. It's dying. That's why we haven't heard it go off. It was I swear it was full bars when I first turned it on and showed it to you guys. I don't know. Look at it, 84, 94. Here it goes. Here it goes. And my light just died at the same damn time.
Yep. Look,
Oh, what?
that's what you're seeing.
Holy shit, that's the moon.
Yep.
And we're getting, holy cow, it is a full moon. Oh my God. 140.
I'm getting
Sorry. Goosebumps, yep. 130, oh my God.
goosebumps and the hair standing up.
126, 125. Damn, that's why it wasn't going off, because it died. I gotta get it back up to the car and charge it.
As the investigation continues, the creator tries to communicate directly, asking if something is following them. The readings seem to rise and fall in response, which they interpret as possible interaction. Shortly after, they notice what appears to be eye shine in the distance. What makes this moment unsettling is that the figure can only be seen through the camera and not with the naked eye.
I don't know. He can't work and watch my live, so he's got to text me real quick. What is that? Dude, what is that? What is that? Look. I don't know what that is, guys. Is that an eye shine? Sorry. No. Damn it. There's the one up there. You see it? Hold on. There's one up there. That's not the same one I saw. I can only see that through the phone. I can't see it with my eyes. What's it doing? Ah! 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 Am I freaking out? I'm not freaking. Hello? Oh my God! It just cocked its freaking head both ways. Hello? Hi, I'm sorry. Ugh. Hi. Hello. Come back. Okay, I'm shaking, guys, I'm sorry. Hi. Did you see it cock its head the other direction, dude? Breathe, I'm breathing. I'm just a little... I gotta set this camera down, all right? Where'd it go? Oh! Hi, come back, where you at? Oh my God, it just did something weird. That is so creepy.
The situation escalates further when the figure appears to move and even tilt its head, according to the creator. This causes a visible shift in their behavior as they become nervous and try to speak calmly while continuing to film. However, the figure suddenly disappears, followed by more unexplained noises, including tapping or clacking sounds from the surrounding area.
Where'd you go? Hey, I wouldn't try to... What was that? What the? No, dude. It's too pixelated. What is that? Hello. Hi. My name's Dee. Disappeared. Oh God.
Later in the video, while moving toward another location, the creator notices a strange orange light in the sky that does not behave like a normal aircraft. It appears steady, not blinking, and difficult to identify even when zoomed in. At the same time, they hear footsteps and something moving near the road, including one moment where something appears to run behind the car, though it is not clearly captured.
On to my next location, and I saw fire. It's orange, and it's not moving that much, but when I zoom in, I can't... That's all it is. It's like fire right in the sky, and I don't understand. That's not right. It's not blinking. And it's way over there, and I'm zooming in as far as I can. It's not changing. It's like getting bigger. There's something walking over there. Are you kidding me? I'm just on the side of the road here. I'm not even to my location yet. Oh, hell no. Oh my God, just ran behind the flipping car. Dude, what the shit? Will you scoot up a little bit? That really could, no more, like to that sign.
Toward the end, the creator reflects on previous footage, mentioning an earlier encounter where a figure seemed to disappear almost instantly when illuminated, which they describe as disintegrating. They attempt to verify the current experience by asking viewers if they heard the same sounds, emphasizing that they want honest confirmation rather than assumptions. By the conclusion, the video remains unresolved. Between the radiation spikes, device failures, possible eye shine, unexplained sounds, and movement in the darkness, the creator is left uncertain about what exactly they encountered. The combination of environmental factors and repeated anomalies makes the experience feel intense, confusing, and difficult to explain. This video comes from a camping creator who usually focuses on peaceful solo van life experiences, quiet nature, simple cooking, and relaxing nights away from everything. But this particular episode turns out to be very different from the usual calm atmosphere his viewers are used to. Right from the start, he sets the tone by giving a small warning. He explains that in the past 2 to 3 years, he has done hundreds of camping trips, and negative experiences are extremely rare for him. However, this one stands out as one of the worst. Even then, he makes it clear that people should not let this kind of situation discourage them from going and enjoying camping. That alone already hints that something serious is going to unfold later in the video. The trip begins with a simple plan. He decides to stay local in the Shropshire Hills, a place that holds a lot of personal history for him. The goal is just a peaceful one-night solo camp, a short scenic walk, and a good meal in his van. At first, everything feels normal, but things quickly start going wrong. As he arrives and heads out for a walk, the weather completely ruins the experience. Thick fog covers the entire area, blocking all the views he was hoping for. Instead of scenic hills, he is surrounded by silence and low visibility, which creates a slightly eerie feeling. Eventually, he gives up on the walk and returns to the van, already disappointed.
If it wasn't for the birdsong, it would be dead quiet. It was hard enough getting here, but I don't know if the reward is going to be what I imagined. The air is like soup, very moist. Just walking through this thick fog, I can feel the moisture on my face. Or maybe not, if we've got no signal. It's all going to plan as usual. Oh my god, you can just see from that little tiny thumbnail there that there's some kind of view about an half-hour's walk away, but it is absolutely pointless in weather like today. I'll have to come back here at some point, see if I can risk it for a biscuit in that car park overnight.
Back at the campsite, the situation gets worse. His diesel heater suddenly stops working, which becomes a major problem as the temperature begins to drop. He tries to fix it by checking the fuse, but nothing works, leaving him stuck in a cold van for the night. What was supposed to be a comfortable camp now turns into a struggle just to stay warm.
And a nice, warm diesel heater. Why hasn't... Huh. Interesting. Let's try one more time for good luck. Yeah. You couldn't write it. Oh. Have I got enough to stay warm tonight? Right. I'm going to check the fuse for the diesel heater. I know that the fuse for that diesel heater is down on the driver's seat, just on the right there. When me and Bruce did the electrics, I'm pretty sure.
Trying to lift the mood, he starts cooking dinner. This becomes one of the few good moments in the video. He prepares chicken fajitas and manages to enjoy a decent meal, bringing a brief sense of comfort to an otherwise frustrating trip. As night falls, the atmosphere changes again. The car park becomes completely empty, and he is left alone in the dark, dealing with cold temperatures and isolation. For a moment, it seems like the night might calm down. But then unexpected visitors arrive. He hears a group of people outside, possibly teenagers, making noise near his van. Although they eventually leave, the situation already feels uncomfortable and tense.
White Park right next to me. I heard what sounded like teenagers laughing and giggling before. I was just about to get into bed. Flipping rave at Bury Ditches. Oh my god. I'm going to give it 10 minutes and hopefully they're just smoking whatever and then just going to pee off. Thank God for that. They've gone. Oh, that was just going to turn an already bad night into an even worse night. The only thing that's been good tonight is the dinner. Bar the pudding. But yeah, we're all alone now. I am so ready to get into this bed.
Hoping things won't get worse, he decides to go to sleep. But after midnight, everything escalates. He suddenly wakes up to the sound of a vehicle pulling up right next to his van. The moment is filled with confusion and panic. Within seconds, he realizes that someone has thrown eggs at the side of his van before quickly driving away. At that point, he no longer feels safe staying there.
Just had someone pull up outside the van. What the f was that? Where's the light? Right, I think they've just driven off. Where the hell are my keys? Right, flipping out past midnight. Oh my god. Have they done anything else? Just pelted eggs at the side of the van. This is one of those moments where I would just put the camera down and go home.
Worried that the people might come back, he makes a quick decision to leave immediately. Instead of continuing the camp, he drives away in the middle of the night and heads home around 1 a.m. The next morning, he reflects on what happened. While the damage to the van is not serious, the experience clearly left an impact. He explains that situations like this are very rare for him, which makes it even more frustrating and confusing. By the end, the trip feels like everything went wrong. Bad weather, no views, a broken heater, and finally, an unexpected late-night incident. Still, he reassures viewers that this is not what camping is usually like, and promises a better, more positive experience next time. Overall, this video stands out because it shows how quickly a peaceful solo camp can turn into a stressful and uncomfortable situation when things start going wrong one after another. This video follows a couple on what was supposed to be a simple overnight truck camping trip, but it quickly turns into something far more unsettling. The night doesn't start at the campsite, though. Earlier, they explore an abandoned ghost town called Thurman, deep in the mountains of West Virginia. The area already carries a heavy, eerie history, setting the tone before they even reach their destination. From there, they drive deeper into the Appalachian Mountains, planning to spend the night in complete isolation. Right away, there's a strange energy. Even while setting up, the creator seems unsure, joking about the name Appalachia, but suddenly stopping when he thinks he sees something move in the darkness. Moments later, he hears what sounds like a growl. It's subtle, but enough to make you question what's really out there.
Welcome back to another Appalachian camping adventure. Is it Appalachian or Appalachia?
Appalachia?
Appalachian Mountains? Appalachia?
I don't know. Appalachian?
We are deep in the Appalachian Mountains.
Appalachian.
Appalachian. And I thought I just seen something moving over there.
Oh.
Did you hear that? I thought that sounded like a growl for a second.
They arrive extremely late, around 11 p.m., already tired and surrounded by pitch-black wilderness. Despite that, they decide to cook dinner and explore afterward. But Tiff, clearly uncomfortable, refuses to leave the truck. That hesitation becomes important later. As they talk, the creator brings up local warnings. People say you're not supposed to be out in these mountains at night, and even simple things like whistling are considered a bad idea. Of course, they ignore both rules almost immediately. After dinner, they finally step outside to explore. The environment feels off. Thick fog hangs over the river. The air is heavy, and every sound echoes in the darkness. They joke about creatures, Bigfoot, feral people, but the humor doesn't fully hide the tension.
Oh, it's cool how sandy everything. Wow, look how smoky it is. Is that fog or smoke? That's fog.
You don't think it's from the cold?
Possibly, but it looks really cool.
It's really pretty water.
Super foggy. Yeah, it is. Pretty clear, isn't it, actually? Like, can you see in there pretty good? I wonder what that hole's from.
Wow, it is really clear. Man, that's really clear water.
It is. It's pretty.
It is really pretty. Shine your flashlight across. I want to see how... Oh, it's not that big.
Eventually, Tiff has had enough and goes back to the truck, leaving him alone in the dark. That's when things get more intense.
I'm going to go find Saint Pillow.
Saint Pillow? Okay, so Tiff is officially out of it. She has gone to bed. Very tired, and she does not like walking around at night, especially when we're out in like the Appalachian Mountains. So it's just me and you.
While walking, he repeatedly hears movement around him, things shifting just beyond the reach of his flashlight. The forest feels alive, but not in a comforting way.
Oh. Something just moved up there. Man, that's so thick in some spots. Man, it's really dark out. Whoa.
Realizing something isn't right, he decides to head back. But before he even gets there, Tiff texts him in panic. Something has hit the truck.
So, actually, I'm going to get back to the truck because Tiff's in there. And I know she's probably freaked out right now. Alright, so Tiff just texted, and I guess something hit the truck. And she's nervous and needs me to come back right now. So, I gotta get back to the truck.
Back inside, the tension builds. They lock themselves in, trying to stay calm. But then another strange detail comes up. A vehicle had already driven up earlier and stopped near them. That alone is unsettling in such a remote place.
There was a weird guy driving around. I didn't get it on camera. I was telling Tiff about it. And he pulled right up to the car for a minute. How do you feel about that?
It's creepy.
I know it's creepy. Anyway, so I'll turn the camera back on if anything crazy happens.
Then, everything escalates. Suddenly, they hear it clearly. A car door outside. Multiple people are now around their truck. Some are moving without flashlights, just walking in the darkness. From inside, they can see shadows and figures, but not clearly enough to understand what's happening. At one point, he notices that not everyone has gotten back into the vehicle. That's when the situation truly feels dangerous.
What are they doing? Man, is it that same?
It's the same truck.
Okay. Oh, that's creepy. What are they? Oh, now they're outside but without flashlights. One dude's walking around with no flashlight. It looks like we ain't getting to sleep yet, babe. What's the deal with this?
They're outnumbered, isolated, and have no idea who these people are or what they're doing. The fear becomes real. Jokes about burying bodies no longer feel like jokes. There's no time to film, no time to think. They immediately jump into the front seats and leave. They don't stay. They don't investigate. They just drive. The video ends with them safely back home, but clearly shaken. What started as a peaceful camping trip turned into a night filled with strange sounds, unknown visitors, and a constant feeling of being watched. And the scariest part, whatever or whoever was out there in the Appalachian Mountains that night, they never found out. This video follows a solo night investigation deep in the woods. What begins as a Bigfoot hunting adventure slowly turns into something much more intense and unsettling. Right from the start, the creator doesn't waste time. The video opens with him reacting in pure fear after hearing a deep, aggressive growl coming from somewhere in the darkness. His reaction feels genuine, almost panicked, immediately setting a tense and uneasy tone for the rest of the video.
No, man. That was a frickin' growl. That was a super growl. And there's eyes. Man, no frickin' way. I'm sorry, guys. There's no frickin' way.
After this moment, he briefly introduces the situation. He explains that he has returned to a location he previously explored with his wife, where they experienced strange activity, unusual tree structures, knocking sounds in the woods, and a moment where it even felt like something responded to them. His wife also started feeling unwell during that visit, which made the place even more suspicious.
Now, tonight, I'm already super duper scared. And anyway, I probably showed you a little bit of what happened the last time me and my wife was here. Holy smokes, babe, look. That's what I'm talking about. That is a deliberate X.
Oh, those trees aren't swaying.
Why has this place been abandoned? Dude,
What was that?
that was a knock. Babe, that's what we did earlier. That was an answer. That's what Bigfoots do. That was a Bigfoot knock.
Okay.
Okay, something happened to Tiff. She's not feeling right.
Now, he's back alone. And at night, the conditions are far from ideal. It's raining. The ground is wet and slippery, and visibility is extremely low. Still, he pushes forward, heading toward an abandoned path deep in the woods, the same area where everything happened before. As he walks deeper, things start to feel off almost immediately. Strange noises begin surrounding him, branches snapping, movement in the distance, and sounds that don't seem easy to explain.
Holy smokes, man. This feels like not right. Oh man, what was that? Did that come up on camera? Did you guys hear that? What in the world was that?
He even stops multiple times, asking viewers if they heard what he just heard. The forest feels active, but not in a normal way. Then comes something even more unsettling. He starts seeing eyes. At first, it's just a quick glimpse, something glowing faintly in the distance. But then it happens again. This time, he's more certain. He describes the eyes as red or orange, watching him from the end of the trail. Every time he tries to point the camera directly at them, they disappear. The tension continues to build.
Where'd those eyeballs go? Oh. Where did the eyes go? Man, the eyes were right at the end of the trail, it looked like. Oh. Oh my goodness. I'm freaking spooked, man. I'm freaking spooked. Where'd you go, eyeballs? I gotta tell you guys, this feels really stupid. Oh. Something's walking in there, man. Listen. Something's in there. Holy smokes.
He begins hearing movement all around him, as if something is walking through the woods nearby. His breathing gets heavier, and he openly admits that he's scared. Even the smallest sounds now feel threatening. Then, things escalate further. He spots another set of eyes, this time green. Now it doesn't feel like just one presence. It feels like there could be multiple things out there, watching him from different directions.
Eyeballs. I seen eyeballs. Where are you at? Oh. More eyes. What in the world was that, man? That was like green eyes. I just seen freaking green eyes back there too. Did that come up on camera? Oh. What is green eyes? Whew. Oh, there's another trail there. There was eyes back in that trail. Other trail. I'll check those out. Oh! What in Sam's Hades, man? Holy smokes. That was something just freaking thrown there, man. Something just happened right there. What's up? Is something wrong? I don't know. Did I just see freaking eyes back there, man? No, man. That was a freaking growl. That was a super growl. And there's eyes. Man, no freaking way. I'm sorry, guys. There's no freaking way. Oh, I can hear it.
Moments later, something is thrown from within the darkness. This is no longer just distant sounds. Whatever is out there is interacting with the environment, possibly reacting to him. At that point, everything changes. He stops the investigation. He admits he couldn't even make it to the abandoned path. The situation has clearly gone beyond what he's comfortable handling alone. By the end, he describes the experience as a failed attempt, but also one of the scariest encounters he's ever had. He even says that if he ever comes back, he won't do it alone again. Overall, this video stands out because it captures raw fear in real time. This video follows a creator who returns to YouTube after a short break, explaining that he has been feeling depressed and unmotivated lately. He decides to take some time off, but says that being away from filming has actually made things worse instead of better. To get back into routine, he plans a new stealth camping trip and begins preparing his car for the next night's adventure. He installs a GoPro mount, cleans his vehicle, and experiments with a new lighting setup using a portable magnetic lamp with a large battery system. His goal is to create a more practical and stealth-friendly setup for filming inside the car.
We're here. Put that there for now. Go ahead and disconnect that fridge. So I'm using my headlamp here, and just so I can kind of practice with it and see what POV I can get. So this is my lighting system, and I definitely have to take this off. Look at how bad this looks. That's not great. The reusable zip ties from Walmart, and hopefully, well, I know they'll be able to work because I can literally open this thing right here, wrap them around, and put this thing anywhere. So let's see what this looks like. Bam. Now, one thing I'm worried about is if this thing is super bright. Whoa.
He spends time adjusting the lighting, testing different brightness levels, and checking what can be seen from outside the vehicle. After multiple tests, he finds a setup that allows enough light for filming while still keeping the car relatively hidden from outside view. He also upgrades his setup using zip ties and removes old lighting equipment that was no longer useful.
And put these up, and let's see what we can see from the outside. So I'm gonna go ahead and dim this all the way down here. Like this maybe. And so in my videos, we'll still be able to see here, but can you see it from the outside? If I dim it down all the way, that's really dim. So this one, there's also a couple settings here. Like this one, a nice warmer light. I think that might actually be best because normally this is where I need my light so I can cook and things right here. There's also this one and a red light. Now red light is nice because I don't think you'll be able to see this from the outside.
Once the setup is complete, he prepares for another stealth camping night and briefly mentions looking after some guinea pigs and other personal updates before moving into the main story of the video. He then explains what happened during a previous stealth camping night in front of a 24-hour McDonald's. While sleeping inside his car, he suddenly hears someone trying to open his door. At first, it sounds like pulling and tugging on the handle, which immediately wakes him up and puts him on edge.
It was Saturday, a couple days ago. I was super beat, I was exhausted. I was like, you know what? I'm not even filming a video. I'm just gonna go and hunker down because my car is made for that. And I went to a spot I normally always go to. There's a McDonald's right there. It's 24 hours. I didn't think anything would happen. About to go to sleep, and I just hear like not a knock, but like him like trying the handle, like him pulling it, and then this is what happened. What's going on, man? What's going on? What's up? What's up, man? What's going on? What are you doing? Hey, bro. What's up? What are you doing, man?
Ain't fucking weird, bro. What the hell, man? Sorry guys, my light's on. Oh man, I'm shaking, dude. I had my whole setup. I was sleeping back there, dude. Oh man, he tried to open my door. And then you guys saw that. He wasn't saying anything, man. Dude was a freaking zombie, dude. I don't even have my glasses on. I can't be driving. Oh, I gotta get to a safe spot, guys.
When he reacts, a stranger appears outside the vehicle. The situation becomes extremely tense as the person tries to engage with him, while he is still half awake and confused. He is unsure whether the person is dangerous or simply acting erratically, but the experience leaves him deeply unsettled. After the encounter, he reflects on how unpredictable stealth camping can be. While it often looks peaceful in videos, being alone in public spaces at night means anything can happen, and situations are never fully under control. This incident makes him realize how quickly things can turn dangerous when sleeping in exposed locations like parking lots. Even though he originally planned to stay longer at that spot, he decides he may need to move locations for safety. He ends the night shaken, emphasizing that this was one of the most intense, real-life experiences he has had while stealth camping. This video shows a solo section hike along the Foothills Trail, where Jenny begins her second day of hiking after starting at mile 28.3 near the Whitewater Falls area. Her goal is to reach Table Rock State Park over a 4-day, roughly 48-mile journey. She leaves the Whitewater campsite very early, around 6:50 a.m., while it's still dark. After a short and easy first day of only a few miles, today feels more like a proper hiking day. The trail is mostly smooth and easy at the beginning, with only one difficult section caused by a large blowdown, likely from a recent hurricane.
I am going to be hiking all the way to Table Rock State Park on this trip. It's about 48 miles over the course of 4 days. This is my second day. Yesterday being a very short day, I think I did maybe 3-something miles. I left the Whitewater campsite very early for me. I think it was 6:50 a.m. It was still dark, so I waited for some light to record this, but so far the trail has been pretty cruisy today, much easier than yesterday, with the exception of one spot where there was a big blowdown that I'm guessing happened after the hurricane because there wasn't really any trail building around it to speak of. You could tell people have gone around it their own way, but it wasn't in very good shape.
About 1.2 miles into the day, she is already thinking ahead to cover around 16 miles, hoping to reach Tuxway campsite before dark. She starts early to make sure she has enough daylight for the long hike.
Tuxway campsite today, because that will put me in good shape for the rest of the trip. It is going to be a long day, but thankfully I got such an early start that I should be able to do it before it gets dark. So we'll see how this goes.
As the hike continues, she expects waterfalls and stairs based on what she has seen in other videos of the Foothills Trail. However, the trail is mostly quiet forest walking, with gentle ups and downs and not many views. It feels more like long, steady forest hiking than dramatic scenery.
I was expecting that today was going to be more waterfalls and stairs, but actually it's been, for the most part, like this. And you're kind of weaving around these ditches and gullies and things. So there's like, it's kind of switchbacky, and it's like more kind of gentle ups and downs.
She takes a break at Bear Paw Creek campsite for lunch and water around 10:50 a.m. At this point, She is about halfway in terms of effort for the day, but still has over 10 miles left. She starts to feel a bit tired and slower than expected, but continues forward. Later, the terrain begins to change. She encounters a very large staircase section, which stands out as one of the most intense parts of the trail so far. She also notices signs of hurricane damage in the forest, with fallen trees and rough sections that show how nature has changed the trail.
All right. Now we're talking. That is a honking staircase. Holy cow. Look at that. This looks like some hurricane repair. All these trees that must have fallen.
By mid-afternoon, she stops again at another campsite and decides to eat dinner early because of low energy and sore feet. She still believes she can finish before dark, but fatigue is clearly setting in. A light drizzle begins, adding some discomfort, but not enough to fully gear up for heavy rain.
I was feeling pretty hungry and just kind of like low energy, so I thought that would help perk me back up, and I feel a lot better. I still have about 6 more miles that I want to do, and so I still think I can get there before dark. I'm feeling okay. It's just my feet were a little sore, and I was just tired.
Soon after, she crosses a scary, bouncy suspension bridge, which adds a tense moment to the day.
Oh, scary bridge. Oh. Oh, God. Oh, wow. Why do they have to be bouncy?
Finally, she reaches Tuxway campsite. The first spot is taken, but she finds a good second one with a nice view, picnic table, and good trees for hanging a hammock. She sets up her hammock, hangs her food, and prepares for rain. Completely exhausted, she lies down early and calls it a night. Despite the noise from a nearby group of hikers, the campsite feels peaceful. She still has about 27 miles left for the remaining days. But for now, day 2 ends here. This video comes from a van life travel channel, where the creators document long road trips across Europe, mixing camping, exploration, and everyday van problems in a very raw and unfiltered way. The video starts with one of the strangest and most uncomfortable moments of the trip, when Joe brings the creator over to see something unexpected near their campsite. What they discover is a damaged sex doll lying in the area, which immediately shocks them and turns into a mix of disbelief and dark humor. The moment is played slightly jokingly, but the atmosphere still feels weird and unsettling.
Well, what is it? Is it like is it something positive or negative?
I don't know.
How can you not know? It's either good or bad.
I don't know if it's a sex thing or if it's a weird thing. Are you ready? Could you see it?
What is that? Oh, that's a sex thing.
Oh, oh, that is disgusting.
How do you feel sleeping here tonight?
I'm going to have nightmares.
That is a fully...
That's a sex doll. And someone's worn out the arm.
I'm less concerned that there's a sex doll here and more concerned at how, like, brutalized it is. Someone needs a therapist. Massively. Great about sleeping here tonight. There's clearly a sex offender around.
After that awkward start, the mood shifts into a nighttime camping setup in a very remote and pitch black location. They describe it as one of their scariest campsites because there is absolutely nothing around for miles, just silence and darkness. Even though they try to stay relaxed, there is still a slightly eerie feeling because of how isolated everything is.
One is absolutely pitch black. It doesn't look like there's anyone for like a mile anywhere. It's going to be an interesting night. Hi, what are you doing? So I just got stopped by a lovely couple over there, gave me a quick interrogation. He did say we're not actually allowed to park over there, and he said we should be all right to stay for the night. And then he told me he's a policeman. So the policeman said we can stay here. I think we'll be all right.
Surprisingly, the next morning flips the whole tone completely. Local police wake them up with flashing lights, but instead of trouble, they bring them fresh croissants after recognizing them from the night before. This sudden switch from creepy isolation to wholesome kindness makes the moment feel almost unreal, and it becomes one of the most memorable highlights of the video.
Woke up by lights and flashing, banging, because the local police wanted to bring us some croissants. Isn't that the cutest thing ever? Joe made friends with him last night. He went out to do some filming, and now we've got a bag full of croissants.
He said he didn't put anything on top because he didn't know what we liked.
Ooh, there's bread. Oh, that is the nicest man. I like the Netherlands. They're lovely people.
As the journey continues, the video moves into full road trip mode across abandoned railways, quiet countryside camps, and long drives through Europe. They stop at an old railway line just to explore and film, turning it into a spontaneous break before continuing their route north. However, the calm doesn't last long. The van starts having multiple issues: broken water systems, solar power not performing properly, expensive toll roads, and constant small mechanical frustrations. At one point, they realize their solar setup is generating far less power than expected, forcing them to start thinking about repairs and replacements while still on the road.
Oh, it's we might need to do a little bit of work on our solar because we're not pulling in as much power as we thought we would. We've got 900 watts of solar on the roof and it's only pulling in 40 watts of power. It is an overcast day, but we should really be pulling in a little bit more than that. Like I'd expect about 250, maybe 300 watts. So I've ordered a new MPPT, which is a different configuration, and I'm going to see later on if that makes a change. Also, the DC to DC charger doesn't seem to be bringing in as much power as I thought. There's a really good YouTube channel called Mispronounced Adventures where he's built a little bit of a fan to go underneath each charge controller, and that seems to help him get a lot more power out of them. Because we're only bringing in at the moment now about 600, and we should be bringing in about 720 watts.
They're very dramatic in Denmark. We're just about to cross into Sweden and they've got signs everywhere saying like, this is the last exit for Denmark. You may never return to Denmark again.
The journey becomes more intense when they cross from Denmark into Sweden through a long underwater tunnel. The tunnel feels narrow, dark, and slightly claustrophobic, especially with signs warning them about leaving Denmark and entering a completely different country system. Soon after, they face a very expensive toll, adding more frustration to the trip. Later, they continue into Sweden where more van issues appear, including a broken water switch that they have to repair using improvised tools and temporary fixes inside the van.
Our drinking water's broken. But it's nice being able to just fix things on the road if you bring all your tools with you.
So it wasn't a loose connection, it is just...
The switch rusted.
It's just rusted. We don't have the exact switch we need, but we do have some switches. So I'm going to put a temporary switch there until we can get a new one. And I think this little guy might be the one. It's going to be hanging out the side like all our other things, but at least we can use our drinking water.
Even though it's a small problem, it shows how constantly something needs fixing during van life and how they have to adapt on the move. By the end of the video, they reach their final campsite as their travel time in the EU runs out. Both their shoes are broken, multiple systems in the van need upgrades, and they are preparing to head back to the UK. Despite all the weird discoveries, mechanical issues, and stressful moments, the overall feeling is still positive. More like a chaotic but memorable road adventure, rather than a perfect trip. This video comes from a solo camping channel where the creator spends nights alone in deep forest campsites, focusing on minimal setup, survival routines, cooking, and the quiet atmosphere of being completely isolated in nature. The video begins as he arrives at a remote campsite that is so deep in the forest that he cannot drive any further. The road ends in complete isolation, and he decides to spend the night alone in his car. Right from the start, the atmosphere feels extremely quiet and empty, with no other people around at all. As the evening settles in, the focus shifts to survival-style camping preparation. He checks the outside temperature, noting it is already very cold, and expected to drop further during the night. A nearby river adds a peaceful but slightly eerie background sound, emphasizing how isolated the location really is. He also mentions bear precautions, including bear spray and noise-making methods to avoid wildlife encounters, which adds a subtle tension to the otherwise calm setting. The main part of the evening is slow and peaceful. He starts a small fire, boils water, and prepares coffee while staying close to the warmth. The fire becomes the center of the scene, and the entire forest feels quiet and still around him. Even simple actions like heating water or organizing gear feel very calm and meditative in this isolated environment. Later, he relaxes inside the car, reading a book and enjoying the silence of the forest night. As darkness fully takes over, the atmosphere becomes even more intense. The forest feels completely black outside, and the only light comes from inside the vehicle and a small oil stove used for warmth and light. At this point, the video shifts from peaceful to slightly unsettling due to the complete silence outside. Dinner becomes the next focus. He prepares a traditional-style Japanese meal, ozoni, with rice cakes, vegetables, and chicken, giving the scene a warm and comforting contrast to the cold outside environment. Despite the simple setup, the meal feels meaningful because of how harsh the conditions outside are. After dinner, the tone becomes slightly more tense. While going to the toilet far from camp, he begins to feel uneasy in the darkness and even thinks he hears footsteps behind him. The forest is pitch black, and the feeling of being alone makes the moment more stressful. quickly returns to the car, visibly relieved once he is back in safety. Later, he tries to relax again, cooking leftover food and preparing a small late-night meal before sleeping. The calm returns, but the earlier uneasy feeling still lingers in the atmosphere. By the end of the video, he cleans up the campsite and prepares to leave, reflecting on a night that was mostly quiet and peaceful, but had brief moments of uneasiness in the deep forest darkness. The video closes with a calm departure, highlighting the contrast between the peaceful cooking moments and the slightly eerie feeling of being completely alone in freezing wilderness. This video comes from a camping and travel channel, where the creator focuses on relaxing outdoor adventures, beach camps, and simple overnight trips, while showing both the good and frustrating parts of traveling. In this episode, he visits New Zealand's hot water beach, a geothermal area where volcanic heat naturally warms the water beneath the shoreline. Almost immediately, he is shocked by how warm the water feels, comparing it to sitting in a bath, while steam rises around the beach. The setting quickly becomes the highlight of the entire video, especially with the volcano in the background and the tropical atmosphere surrounding the campsite.
In a warm lake. Oh. It's warm. It's a bit cooler there. Does wild swimming get any better than this? That was the best wild swim I've ever had, maybe ever will have in my life. That was incredible. Water was just like being in a bath. You've got the steam coming up, you've got the blue skies and the gently lapping waves and the tropical vibes and just like pure heaven.
Most of the episode has a calm and peaceful tone, but there are a few moments that make the trip feel more uncomfortable and isolated than expected. After setting up camp, heavy rain starts moving in, while another group unexpectedly arrives and camps extremely close behind him, close enough that he jokes he would be able to hear them snoring during the night. He eventually relocates his tent in the dark, clearly annoyed by losing the privacy and quiet atmosphere he originally came for.
So they're moving because these guys have just turned up. Take two. Apparently they'd booked that campsite a couple of months ago, so I have actually booked this particular spot. So I guess I've only got myself to blame, but still putting in like the whole campsite empty. And they just pumped themselves right behind me. Literally, you'd be able to hear them snoring and farting, and they had two babies as well. So I've relocated. Right, time's about 10 o'clock. Pretty knackered, very chilled. I'm gonna go to sleep. Night.
The overnight section also has a strangely eerie feeling because of the geothermal activity beneath the campsite. At one point, he mentions how unusual it feels that the ground underneath the tent is physically warm because of the volcanic heat below him. He even jokes about how the nearby volcano erupted around 150 years ago and says the entire place could technically go kaboom again someday, which adds a slightly unsettling feeling to an otherwise peaceful beach camp.
The weird thing with camping here is the ground underneath the tent is warm. It's a bit like, you know, when you sit down on somewhere where somebody else has just been sitting and it's like, oh, you warmed it up for me. That's what it's like. It's a little bit warmer than bum temperature. Kind of weird to think I'm that close to volcanic activity and the whole place could just go kaboom. But I think that's unlikely to happen tonight. No, I'll take my chances. Wouldn't want to live here, mind. If the mountains have gone kaboom in the last 150 years, it's obviously still quite active.
By the end, the trip becomes more of a relaxing geothermal adventure than a normal camping video. Between the steaming lake swims, volcanic scenery, geysers, hot springs, and isolated beach atmosphere, the whole episode feels surreal and dreamlike, with just enough discomfort and strange volcanic energy underneath it to make the experience memorable. This video comes from a solo outdoor adventure channel, where the creator documents hiking and camping trips in a very raw and honest style, usually leaving in the uncomfortable moments instead of editing them out. In this episode, she heads into the snowy Virginia mountains, planning her first winter campout after a rare early snowfall hits the area. At first, the trip feels peaceful and exciting, but things slowly start falling apart once she realizes the primitive campsite she planned to use seemingly does not exist.
Today I'm very, very excited because we got a lot of snow. For Virginia standards, it's a lot. We've had 2 snows in the past week, and it's only December. We usually don't get snow until January or February, and it's usually not this much. It's been really nice, and I'm doing my first winter camp out tonight, so I'm really, really excited. I'm a little nervous. Okay, so slight problem. The road for primitive camping just doesn't exist, so I'm gonna have to find something else, and I'm gonna have to find it quick because the sun is setting in like 3 hours, so we'll see what I can find.
From there, the video turns into a stressful drive through isolated snowy back roads, frozen creek crossings, and rough terrain while daylight slowly disappears.
Really? I've just come to a literal creek river. I don't know how deep it is. It doesn't look super deep. I kind of just want to send it, but I also really don't want to get stuck because that would be so embarrassing. And I don't even know if there are guaranteed campsites up here. You really do only live once, so I'm gonna do it. Yeah, no, I didn't think so.
The tension rises when she hits a hidden rock hard during one crossing and later nearly gets stuck while trying to turn around alone in the middle of nowhere.
First camping areas. A girl can dream, am I right? Another creek crossing, by the way. So, let's knock this out real quick. Oh my god. Well, that did not sound good, did it? There's a really big rock in the stream that I did not see. And I just rocked my shit. You okay down there? Well, I don't see anything leaking or dangling. Okay.
What makes it unsettling is how quiet and empty everything feels around her, while the sun gets lower and temperatures keep dropping. Eventually, she gives up on camping and decides to just complete the hike with her dog Brixie before heading home.
That was quite humbling, I'm not gonna lie. Okay guys, change of plans. No camping tonight, unfortunately. I just can't find anywhere. Again, if anybody knows any primitive campsites, even just in Virginia, like, please let me know, because I don't know why these aren't more accessible. Maybe I'm just stupid and like can't find the right websites, but I've been on different websites, different apps, and I just can't seem to find anything. So, but you know, shit happens. It's whatever. So I'm just gonna hike. I'm just gonna hike because I think if I just went home at this point, I would be even more disappointed. So I'm just gonna do my hike and then go home. So I'm sorry if this is kind of disappointing. I'm definitely disappointed. But you know, it's whatever.
The second half becomes much calmer, but once darkness starts setting in, the trail suddenly feels much more eerie. She repeatedly mentions how silent the woods are, and the headlamp walk back through the freezing dark gives the video a surprisingly creepy atmosphere, even though nothing paranormal actually happens.
It is so quiet. It's getting dark. It's a little spooky. Better get back to the car. She sees deer. Come on, let's go. We have about 1.7 miles left. And Rixie's booty, the Velcro keeps getting a bunch of ice and snow packed down on it. And it's just not holding, and they keep, that one specifically just keep falling off. But I'm just gonna leave it for now because we're almost back at the car. We have less than a mile, but it's kind of getting dark and it's starting to get hard to see where I'm walking. But I'm hoping I won't have to stop and get my...
By the end, the trip ends with hot coffee, ramen, and a warm car instead of a campsite. But the failed adventure and the growing isolation in the snowy forest make the whole experience feel strangely tense and memorable. This video follows a solo investigator returning to a haunted farm right after a massive blizzard, completely alone. His usual partner isn't there, and from the start, the place already feels wrong. The trees are damaged, the power is out across the area, and the entire property looks abandoned and unstable.
Hell with it, don't even care. So long story short, I'm here at the Pocomoke Ranch. I pull right in the driveway here, and we had a blizzard, and I can't lie, them damn trees are scary as hell. If somebody came running through there right now, I probably wouldn't be surprised. But I don't have my partner in crime tonight, Sonny, because Sonny is snowed in at his house, completely snowed in at his house. So it's just me tonight here at the farm. I came to check on it, number one, and number two, potentially piss off the spirits back there at the farm. Wind just picked up a little bit.
As he makes his way down the driveway, something strange stands out almost immediately. Sections of melted snow, revealing what looks like an old brick path he never noticed before. It feels out of place, like something hidden is being uncovered.
But one thing I will say is some areas of snow have melted where others haven't. It's really weird. I don't know. What the hell? That's strange. What is that? What the fuck? There's bricks here. It's like a brick. Have I never noticed there's a brick driveway here? Look at that. They're literally uncovering a brick driveway. There's no way that the farm has a brick driveway, and I've never known that. And why am I just finding this now? This is insane. Okay, maybe it's just... That's really weird. Bricks there, bricks here. Then it stops. It's just like a weird... I don't know, that's a little strange, but yeah, anyway, like I was saying, trees are down. Gonna have to move some of this stuff, and there's power outages everywhere right now in Delaware. I mean, everywhere.
Not long after, the first unsettling moment hits. He suddenly hears a loud noise in the distance, something sharp and unnatural enough to stop him mid-sentence.
I don't know. Possibilities are endless, but that is where when I say the possibilities, I don't know what that noise was, but that was loud.
Then, a second moment. What he describes as the sound of someone clapping, even though he's completely alone.
Folks, we're almost to the farm. But I also thought about, potentially, what the fuck? That was weird. Somebody clapped their hands. Oh, I got my gut out. Never mind. It sounded like somebody clapped their hands. Lock the door. Alright, let's try to get around these trees here.
But everything changes when he finally gets closer to the house. He freezes. In one of the windows, he sees what looks like a figure, something he refers to as Annabelle.
Oh man! Annabelle's in the damn window! Oh my gosh! Get the hell out of here.
Just standing there, watching. At the same time, he notices what appear to be footprints on the roof, even though the snow around the house is mostly untouched.
Is that footprints on the roof? Look at that! That's footprints on the roof, y'all.
From this point on, the tension doesn't drop. He refuses to go inside. Instead, he uses a spirit app, and the responses quickly turn unsettling. Words like, voices are heard, frustrate, and let's play a game come through, making the situation feel less random and more directed at him.
Alright, I'm back. Any of you spirits recognize me out here?
Pictures fall.
Pictures fall. Maybe that's what was going on in there. There's pictures or something falling.
During times of crisis.
During times of crisis. I hope it's not a crisis right now.
Have you been here before?
Have you been here before? Yeah, I've been here before. You not recognize me? I literally own the property. Probably been here 300, 400 times.
No to all.
No to all. Maybe it almost sounds like the spirits are talking amongst themselves instead of like talking to me.
At one point, the app seems to reference something inside the house, possibly moving, possibly watching. He keeps asking if he should enter, but never gets a clear answer, only more cryptic responses. The most intense moment comes near the end. While standing outside, he hears something move inside the house, and then the door itself shifts slightly, as if something on the other side is reacting to him.
Anybody in there? Hello? The fucking door just moved on me. That fucking door. False. What's that mean? Is anybody gonna come to the door and answer or what? Oh! Shit! Nah!
Simulation.
Simulation, what the hell does that mean?
That's when he stops, completely. By the end, he backs off from the property, clearly shaken. He admits this is one of the most uncomfortable experiences he's had, feeling surrounded, watched from every direction, and unsure of what was actually inside the house. Nothing is clearly proven, but the figure in the window, the footprints on the roof, the strange responses, and the movement inside the house make this one feel far more intense than a normal investigation. This video comes from a live stream style paranormal investigation, where the creator records strange, unexplained activity during nighttime exploration, using normal camera and night vision footage. Almost immediately, he starts hearing unusual clacking sounds, like rocks tapping together in the distance.
Clicking.
As he continues observing, things begin to escalate. A strange shadow appears in the footage, something that doesn't match his light source. It moves independently, shifting left, up, and down in a way that doesn't behave like a normal reflection or object. When he slows the footage down, he claims to see a humanoid-like figure above the camera angle, partially hidden and distorted, almost as if it is watching from above.
Hey, my love, somebody made a timestamp with this shadow and I cannot figure out what it is. Look at that. It doesn't match my light. It's moving on its own. Watch again. I'll repeat it. It goes to the left, up, and down, and that's not what... What is that red face? What is that?
The situation becomes more unsettling when he hears repeated clicking sounds again, followed by movement in the dark area ahead of him. He tries to shine his light in that direction, but visibility is limited, and whatever is making the noise seems to stay just out of full view.
I hear clacking, like tapping, rock clacking.
As the recording continues, he notices sudden movement in trees and objects shifting in ways that don't seem natural. At one point, he even questions whether something physically moved or stepped back into the darkness when his light hit it.
Why will the light penetrate that? Did that just leave? I gotta rewind that because it looked like it died. Why will the light penetrate that? Did that just leave? I gotta rewind that because it looked like it ducked.
The tension increases further when he believes something is very close by. He shines his light into a dense area and claims a tree or object appears to move. Soon after, he hears more clicking sounds again, reinforcing the idea that something is nearby and actively reacting to him.
Guys, that tree, hello? That's too close, I don't think so. That tree just moved. I can toss one over there. Something just dropped. There's movement over there. Clicking.
Later, while reviewing footage, he repeatedly points out a strange shadow figure that appears above camera level. In slowed and zoomed footage, he claims to see facial features, eyes, nose, and even a mouth that seems to open unnaturally.
Live stream highlights, and I saw this and I am blown away because I don't know, the thermal camera didn't pick it up in front of it, but watch this. I'll play it original and then I'll slow it down and brighten it up. This is nuts. Got one. Guys, right there. Got him. You see him? He's right down there. He got his little face there. He's got one eyebrow cocked up. Like, what are you doing? Gordon, hope you like the night vision I sent you. That's what I'm using, man. Thank you. I love it. Now, most of you probably already picked up on it, but here we go. I slow it down in that circle right there above the camera. It's not coming on the camera, but he's above the camera. But watch this. There's his eyes, his nose. He's moving. At some point, he opens his mouth real weird, and I rewind it back because it's creepy. Right there. I don't know what it is. Now I'm gonna freeze frame it.
He is unsure whether it is a creature, distortion, or something else entirely, but he finds it deeply disturbing. He describes it as possibly a Bigfoot-like or dogman type entity, or something unknown, as the shape appears to shift and disappear between frames. In some moments, it is clearly visible, while in others, it completely vanishes from the same position. This video follows a solo explorer returning to a quiet woodland after a recent storm, mainly to check his cameras. At first, everything seems normal, until he notices something that immediately feels wrong. Deep in the mud, he finds a large footprint, not his. The size is bigger than his own foot, clearly human, and recent enough to stand out. As he looks closer, he finds more impressions nearby, confirming someone has been in this area without him knowing.
I have found some really bizarre tracks today. This boot print doesn't match my boot print. It does look fairly old, but it is very strange and it's quite big. So it's definitely a man or someone that wears a very, very big shoe. I'll just spin you around to show you it. Look at that. That's massive. My BK2 next to it. It's just slightly larger than my BK2. Oh, I want to trip myself out. That looks like a toe as well. My God. There's another impression up there as well. But this is seriously something worth noting.
From that moment, the tone shifts. He admits this is the first real physical evidence he's had of someone else being there, and it visibly unsettles him. Instead of staying, he decides to set up a live camera, one he can monitor remotely, aimed directly at the tracks, hoping to catch whoever or whatever is coming through.
I think the best bet is to get my live camera, the one that I can pick up on the phone, which I put in a few weeks ago at a different location in the woodland. I'm going to go there now, retrieve that camera and program it onto one of these trees and get a reception, make sure it's working good on the phone, and then I can keep an eye on this area, even at home in my bed.
But even while setting it up, something feels off. He describes a sudden wave of anxiety, saying he feels jittery for no clear reason. The woods are quiet, but not in a comforting way. Every sound feels amplified.
So we are live. I'll be able to control this from the comfort of my own settee at home. We've got a blue light on there. That's showing me that's got plenty of signal. If you don't mind now, I'm going to get out of here because I've just got a really bad feeling all of a sudden.
Later that night, things escalate. While trying to rest, he suddenly hears something outside, clear enough to make him stop and listen. It sounds like someone moving in the woods nearby, not an animal. Something heavier, something deliberate.
I don't know if you'll be able to hear, but there's definitely someone out there. Fuck's sakes. 2 seconds. Hello?
By morning, he leaves early, unsettled, but without answers. Then, days later, the footage comes back. At exactly 4:12 a.m., the camera captures a figure entering the area. The person, or whatever it is, moves strangely, reaching up toward a branch as if trying to grab something. Then, just as quickly, it disappears deeper into the woods.
AM, this figure comes into view. Almost looks like it's trying to pull something down from a branch above, acting in a peculiar manner. Then the camera takes a further 2 still shots of it moving further off to the left-hand side of the woodland. So why is this person there at that time of the morning? Why do we keep hearing these shrills and shrieks? Is it paranormal? I just don't understand. Or perhaps it might be someone that has found out I've been putting cameras around to try and catch big cats that we might have here in the UK. They might have found out that I have got some pretty decent information of them.
That's when things stop making sense. If it's just a person, why are they only showing up when he's not there? Why always at night? And why does it line up so closely with the sounds he keeps hearing? By the end, nothing is confirmed. But between the unexplained footprints, the nighttime movement, and the figure caught on camera, the woods no longer feel empty, just watched. This video comes from an outdoor explorer who shares strange and unexplained moments he has experienced while camping and walking alone in remote nature. He explains that if you spend enough time outdoors, you will eventually see or hear things that don't fully make sense, moments you can't easily explain, even to yourself. One of the most chilling experiences happens in an ancient woodland. While walking through dense forest, he suddenly notices a blurred human-like figure high up in a tree.
I'm wading through just a sea of bracken. So naturally, my eyes are pulling double time. I'm watching where I step, at the same time looking up at where I'm going. So eyes on the ground, making sure I'm not going to trip on any roots or any deadfall. And when I bring my eyes back up to see where I'm going, that's when something caught my eye. In top left peripheral vision, I look up and I focus. And what I see is like a blur, basically. And as I'm watching this thing, I begin to see an outline of a figure. And this thing is up in a tree. About 3/4 up in this tree. And I see the outline of a head, shoulders, arms, torso, legs. Just like a human, but slender arms and legs, much longer than a human. And I'm watching this thing, and while I'm watching, I notice the forest is dead silent.
The forest goes completely silent as he watches it move between branches. For a moment, he looks away to grab his phone. But when he looks back, the figure is gone, and the forest sound returns like nothing ever happened. Another disturbing night takes place at a campsite. While lying in his tent, he hears strange electrical-like sounds coming from underground. Later, he suddenly finds himself outside the tent without remembering how he got there. Moments after, a bright blue flash appears in the sky, completely unlike lightning or anything natural he knows.
And just a regular day. I set up my tent, I get all my gear out, get organized, make dinner, have ourselves a little campfire, and chill out. And then it's time to bed down. So I get in to my tent and I lay down, and I put my head on my little inflatable pillow. And as I'm laying there with my head on the pillow, I can hear what sounds like electricity, but under the ground. It's super strange stuff. Like, so the inflatable pillow was, amplifying the sound of this, what sounded like an electricity current going under the ground, which had never happened before, never heard it before, and I didn't hear it again. But if you think that's strange, the next strange thing, I happened to wake up and I'm outside of the tent, and I'm kind of kneeling down outside the door of the tent, and I look up in the sky, and the sky is kind of cloudy. The moon, you can see the moon kind of as a clouds are just blowing by. It's broken clouds. And I look up in the sky at the moon. I see this flash, blue flash, just not lightning, thunder, or whatever. It was a ball of blue flash, and completely strange. I think it had been maybe 2 or 3 hours had passed since the time I got in the tent, and then all of a sudden I was outside of the tent. Could I have been sleepwalking? I don't sleepwalk. I used to as a kid. As an adult, no, I don't sleepwalk. How I all of a sudden ended up outside of the tent, and then randomly the flash in the sky and the electricity under the ground of an eco campsite. Completely strange.
He ends by saying the forest always feels strange, almost alive in a way that cannot be explained. And the most chilling part is that these experiences feel completely real in the moment, but impossible to prove afterward. This video comes from an outdoor exploration group investigating a strange concrete slab hidden deep in nature, surrounded by bamboo, stone structures, and carved markings. The location already feels unnatural, as if something was placed there intentionally in a place it shouldn't exist. Right away, the atmosphere feels off. The team arrives at a large concrete slab in the middle of nowhere, with stone monolith-like structures nearby. They describe the place as creepy and unusually silent, with no normal wildlife sounds. Even the air feels still, almost controlled.
All right, so we found this really weird concrete slab in the middle of nowhere, super bizarre. And there's these 2 stone monoliths right here. So Carl said to try standing between them, so we're gonna see what happens. Dude, this is weird.
As they move deeper into the area, they notice strange formations, symbols, carved rocks, and a circular layout that looks intentionally designed. One member mentions it could be related to something ritualistic or unknown, as if the land itself had been altered or used for something in the past. The tension increases when they enter a darker section of the forest.
You first.
Is there an entrance? Oh, right now. Let's do it.
That's not too bad. It's almost like whatever it used to be, they restacked it like it used to be used for something else. Yeah. There's like nothing else around. Little aspen forest over there. What's that? That aspen forest over there is creepy.
Suddenly, both of them notice something unusual in the distance. What looks like glowing eyes watching from the rocks above.
Where? You were pointed right at it. Go up higher, up higher. See the eyes? To the right? Right there. It's like, see there's the big boulders and then up higher. Well, I can clearly see them on the night vision. Look at the eyes looking. I'm gonna zoom in on it. Something's on the rocks watching us right there, look. Oh. Oh, there it is, see? What is it? See that? That light on the rocks.
At first it appears stationary, almost like it is observing them rather than reacting to their presence. When they focus their light, the shape seems to shift or disappear briefly, then reappear again in a slightly different position. This creates the feeling that whatever it is actively tracking them rather than just being an animal.
Yeah, something was up there watching us, for real. It's like spying on it. There it is, there it is. There it is. Oh, right there. It's still there. It moved to the right a little bit. There. Oh, it's still peeking at us. What the hell is that, dude? And this is what's creepy. That's up where we were crawling around. That's up where we were hearing that woman, the whisper of that woman's voice.
As they continue walking, they begin connecting the experience to earlier strange sounds they heard in the area, including what sounded like a woman's voice and unexplained flashes of light. The feeling of being followed becomes stronger, as if something is moving ahead of them on the trail. Deeper into the site, they discover more strange carvings, figures with unusual proportions, symbol-like markings, and rock arrangements that look intentionally placed. The designs give off the impression of something ritualistic or symbolic, possibly representing figures, deities, or unknown beings.
It came off. The whole top of the rock and everything is just covered all the way around, even the backside.
Wonder what made this so significant. Like if
it's like a goat, a big bullseye with another goat above it. That triangle's
that triangle's weird. I feel like we're being like actively stalked.
Right? You have that weird feeling too.
Yeah.
We got like a figure here with his arms up with 3 fingers out, and then his friend up here like goes here, and then he's there, and then there's all these symbols.
That to me looks like a
At this point, both of them openly admit they feel like they are being watched. The environment feels alive in a way that is hard to explain, as if the location itself reacts to their presence. This video comes from a solo explorer who accidentally gets involved in a missing person case inside a large national nature reserve. He explains that a man named Victor, 28, a photographer who loved traveling alone in nature, went missing just days before his arrival. The official search began, but strangely, nothing was found. While exploring the forest, the narrator discovers an abandoned campsite that looks untouched for days. Something about it immediately feels off, like it was left in a hurry.
Until I accidentally came across a campsite. Judging by its condition, it was clear that no one had been there for several days. That was the moment when everything started to feel off, especially after I found an action camera roughly 1,000 feet from the camp, near the railroad tracks. The footage on it turned out to be extremely disturbing and unsettling.
Not far from there, around the railway tracks under a bridge, he finds a GoPro camera lying on the ground, slightly dirty but still intact. When he checks the footage later, he finds disturbing and confusing recordings belonging to the missing man. Most of the clips are normal or repetitive, but a few moments feel deeply unsettling. Strange noises near the tent, movement outside, and the sense that something or someone is nearby. In the footage, the man appears to hear something outside his tent at night. He steps out to investigate, and after that moment, everything becomes unclear. The camera is eventually dropped near the railway bridge, suggesting he ran from something in panic before disappearing into the forest. The narrator describes multiple theories: a possible animal attack, someone chasing him, or even something he ran from in fear. But nothing fully explains the situation. Even more disturbing, he finds evidence suggesting the campsite should have already been discovered by search teams, but somehow wasn't. As he continues deeper into the forest following the railway line, the environment becomes more isolated and oppressive. The wind, silence, and endless trees create a strong feeling that he is being watched or followed. Eventually, he admits there is no clear conclusion. The missing person case remains unsolved, and the footage has been handed over to authorities. But what he saw in the recording and what he felt in the forest leaves more questions than answers.